Okay, Chiefs, we're back here. Greg here with Jim Roddy. Jim, mate, I love your book. It's called The Walkon Method, and you've got 5 steps in that method. And I want you to talk us through that because this is a really important blueprint for absolutely anyone, no matter how senior they are, no matter what they've been given in life. This is an important book. Now, second thing I need you to do, if that's all right, is we're not so familiar with a walk-on here in Oz. So can you talk us through what exactly is a walk-on? And then let's just talk through those 5 steps, mate. Let's go.
Sure, happy to do it. Yeah, so a walk-on is somebody who plays for on a team where everybody else has athletic scholarships. So here in the United States, you have colleges, you have different levels, Division I, Division II. They give away athletic scholarships, but there are folks who end up walking onto those teams. They weren't recruited, they don't have any scholarship whatsoever, but they still want to be a member of the team. I was going to say they still want to play, but oftentimes they hardly play at all, right? They're more practice players is what they are. So I walked on to a Division II small college basketball team, and to show how little I played, I averaged 14 points for my career. Not 14 points every single game. It took me 4 whole years to score 14 points, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. And so if I'll jump into some of those lessons right there. So we have 5 steps to the walk-on method. Step number 1 is take a big shot. And we say anybody can make a layup, right? So just don't try a layup, try hitting a big shot. So don't sell yourself short when you're setting your next career goal, your next business goal. Don't contemplate what you really want and then aim for something less just to play it safe. Anybody can do that. So take a big shot. One of the people we have in our book, her name is Colleen Healy. She actually received a scholarship to lead Division II basketball. She said, I can do better. And she went and took control of her career from an athletic and academic standpoint, ended up walking on at Division I University of Connecticut, which is, women's college basketball powerhouse. Did the same thing once she graduated, thought she would always stay in Connecticut, ended up moving south to sunny Florida, ended up working for 2 large corporations and becoming an excellent salesperson. She's even taken a bigger shot today, and she's now a speaker from coast to coast here in the United States. So first thing you have to do is take a big shot. Step 2 is we call it make a passion statement. So that's passion with a P, not with an F. So prepare with passion, practice with passion, and then play with passion. So too many people just wish that their dream is going to come true, right? Or sometimes they think, when that moment presents itself, that's when I'm going to give it my all. But you can't wish, you can't wait. You've got to walk on to your dream. And so, of course, when people see a walk-on out on the field or out on the court, they say, boy, that person plays hard. What they don't see is the preparation and the practice they put in. That's what you have to do, not just from a sports standpoint, that's what you have to do from a career standpoint. If you really want to take control of something, take control of your preparation first. Step 3 is run uphill. It's all about embracing obstacles. We say it takes longer, but it makes you stronger. And so, Greg, we're always taught to avoid obstacles and seek the path of least resistance, right? If there's an obstacle, it's like, close your eyes, shrink, right? Try to get around it. And so when I was younger, I ran road races and I ran cross country. And so everybody would slow down when they get to a hill. I don't know why it got in my mind, but I'm like, what if I charge up that hill? What if I sprint up that hill instead of slowing down like everybody else did? So I would pass people, and it's one thing to pass somebody in a running race, but to do it going uphill, like they look at you like, man, this person is a psycho. So there was an act that I would get ahead of them, and then they couldn't, keep up with me mentally as well. So what we saw is walk-ons and people who have a walk-on attitude in the workplace, they don't avoid obstacles. They lean into the difficulties and they embrace obstacles because they know on the other side of the experience, they're going to be battle tested. So when you encounter a career challenge, and you see everyone around you just wishing the moment's going to pass, show courage, take control, convert into an opportunity or a victory. And then the last 2 points, step 4 is no fuss, all must. So no fuss stands for maintain emotional control, right? Especially the negative ones, so you're advancing your career. If you have a setback, just shake your head for a second and then resolve to work harder, resolve to perform better. Don't say that you're a victim. And then the all must is an acronym for maximize unique strengths. So, when you're in a difficult situation, right, encountering those obstacles, a lot of the walk-ons that we profiled, they were shorter, skinnier, or slower than these gifted scholarship teammates. But they figured out what was their work standpoint, right? Somebody better than you in one area area or a certain other area, what things can you do? What can you bring? How can you work on your skills to bring that? And then the last step is pretty simple one, make them throw you out of the gym. And it's never, ever, 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 ever quit. Okay. And so too many people throw themselves out of the gym, right? There's a reason why they don't try out for the team. There's a reason why they don't go for that promotion. There's a reason why they don't go after that big sale. So they are throwing themselves out of the gym, right? Give somebody the opportunity to say, you don't belong here. And once they say that, say, what do I need to do to belong here? And keep going back for more and for more. So those are the 5 steps of the Walkon Method. And the beauty is to tie it all together. All these steps are within your control, right? There's no specialized degree, no specialized knowledge in order to take a big shot or prepare with passion. So if you want to increase your knowledge, your skills, and your competence, if you want to change the trajectory of your business, start thinking and acting like a walk-on.
Yeah, such a good little model, Jim. I really like it. And a couple of things in there, I'll just pick up one I thought were really great is, I love the uphill. What was it? Run uphill? Run uphill takes
Run
longer.
uphill,
oh, yeah.
correct.
Yeah, I just love this because one of the beliefs that and I'm continually learning this, to be honest. I only recently had a really challenging situation with one of my clients. And I was like, oh man, this is really, really hard, right? And then it just dawned on me that this is where I'm going to learn the most. And if I can work out how to get through this, I'm going to be an even better coach. And so instead of letting it get to me about the difficulty, I just embraced it and said, right, I'm going to have a real go at this and do my absolute best. And I'll just make the extra mile that the client will never know about. And you know what? It worked out. And now on the other side of that, I'm really proud of myself because I put in the effort and the time to get that right. And I think it's a really important thing because you tend to learn about yourself at the edge of your performance, at the edge of comfort. And every time you go there, whether it's doing marathoning or whatever it is, or playing some sport or learning the piano and getting frustrated with the song because you can't quite complete it and then playing it again and again and again until finally it clicks, that's the point of growth. And then it takes you into that point you were saying that when opportunity comes along, you've got to be ready. And if you've got these bits and pieces behind you in your personal history that show that you can step up, that you can do it, that you can push, when your boss comes along and says, hey, I've got an opportunity to run this project or this vertical, you're primed, you're ready to go, as opposed to not having anything to stand on. And I think that's really important because you're going to get opportunities coming your way if you keep playing hard, and you want to be ready for it.
Exactly right. I really love this chart, so I can't draw it for you, but the inner circle is your comfort zone. The next range out is your courage zone, right? And the next range beyond that is your panic zone. Nobody learns anything in their panic zone, right? If you drop me out of an airplane with a backpack, I'm not going to learn anything. I'm just going to panic and then hit the ground really hard. But if you have somebody who really puts in and says, what's your courage area? What's outside your comfort zone? You prepare and you work for it. That's a big thing. And that's why a lot of these things tie together. You've got to maintain the emotions to take on that obstacle and not keep obsessing over the obstacle. I love how you said that. What can I learn from this, right? We all went through COVID. Some countries went through it worse than others. Of course, some businesses went through it worse than others. But people had the opportunity to learn from it, or they had the opportunity to shrink and just wait for it to pass by. And I've talked with a lot of successful business people who said, how can we innovate? How can we get better? And here we are in 2021, and they're stronger than they've ever been, actually.
Exactly. And this, I think one of the real challenges is when we look at your method and stuff I teach in the Great Method, a lot of time, a common misconception is people are thinking that I'm saying to them, hey, you got to do more time on your career. No, I don't have any more time. I got to work for 10, 12 hours a day. I got to get home, take the kids to soccer. I've just got a crazy busy life. And I think the point here, this is playing towards things like your manage unique strengths and all this kind of stuff, is it's not working longer. It means when you turn up and you do your prep for the start of the day, do your prep really smart. I've found about 10 to 15 minutes of really good prep. Know what's going to happen in your meetings every day. Know how you're going to approach a particular conversation. That prep makes your day run easier. It makes you're thinking about what's in front of you as opposed to just turning up and going to work every single day. So, and I'm certain you'd be thinking the same thing. This is, in a basketball game or a football game or whatever it is you're playing, there's only a certain number of minutes. No one's giving you any more. Right. And all we ever do.
Or in my case, they're not giving you any at all. So, it depends.
Yeah, 14 points. That's so good. But 14 more than a lot of people, right? And that's what it's all about, is you showed up. And then in that time that we've got every day, we've just got to find a way to get better and better and better at that. And I think that's a really important point, is if people are battling with prioritization, there wasn't too many things in their plate, then that tells you what you need to get good at next, prioritization. And a lot of people go, I just can't stay on top of my calendar.
Right, and it's a combination of,
go on.
No, good point. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, if you're overwhelmed, then that's the place you go to first. Just fix that thing, do some research on it, read a couple of books on ways to prioritize and try and work it out. Otherwise, I had this guy, I was giving a presentation once, and I'd spoken all about this particular morning system I use to help people get prioritized. And he said, Greg, mate, gee, it's a great idea, great concept you've got there, mate. But, mate, I've been doing this for 10 years. And for the life of me, I cannot stay on track. My boss gives me something new. My peers send me stuff. I can't stay on track. What do I do? And I said, no, you sound like you've got a really tough job. I said, can I just ask you a question? What is your process right now to start your day? I said, just step it out for me. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And he couldn't do it. And I said, mate, with all due respect, you don't have a prioritization system yet. You've got an ad hoc method for turning up to work. We can't improve it if you haven't systemized it yet. and he went, I think the little penny sort of dropped for him. He was like, okay, maybe there is a way to hack this code, because I can tell you now, the CEO has a lot more priorities than he does.
My basketball coach at Gannon used to say, if it starts right, it finishes right. Right. And so if your day starts off and you don't know what you're going to do, all you're going to do is respond to emails, respond to phone calls, or do something that's easy. You've got to make sure, again, you prepare, practice, and play with passion. There's a level of discipline, not just from the great athletes, but the great workers, the great leaders, the great CEOs, the great employees. They have exactly what you said. They prioritize, and then they go and execute upon that. You can't execute upon something that you don't know what's the most important thing.